I have more to say on this. We haven't really. This is still part one of, or I mean, it's part two of part one. So no extra turns have passed. This is turn 47, I think. So 47 out of 4,500 turns. We may never actually get to the end of this game, but if we did, it would be really cool. This mod, I've got one of the good mods for Civilization 4. It extends it to 4,500 turns. There's many extra techs, and the coolest thing about Civ 4, I'm just gonna gush some more about it, is that, like I was saying with Emergence, if you're on a landmass and it doesn't have iron, or the iron is just a little bit in a different position, and it's behind the border of another country, like, that could really ruin your whole game. But, if you figure out there's iron and the other country doesn't know there's iron, then they can't take advantage of that iron. There's like a clock ticking. Like, the game evolves around, like, the geology of the map. The geology of the map, the positioning of where you're at. There's a lot of cool factors that make the game just go off in directions like who's going to end up the strongest. What country is going to have the advantage at the end of the game? And it's just like depends on the resources they have. It depends on who their neighbors were. It depends on if they settled that coastline before that guy settled that coastline. It depends on, did you have a rice field around your town, or do you have a wheat field around your town, or was there no food on that landmass, like no strategic food resources for many tiles away from you, and you didn't get access to that for a while. Or in Civ 4, this mod, like, to get the economic buildings of the ancient past, you need to have access to, I think it's like ivory or pearls. There's a few luxury resources that if you don't get them, you don't get a building that amps up your city's like economic wealth by 10%. Like, there's a building like the market or the bazaar. It's one of the first economic buildings you'll get, and it requires like some resources, and sometimes you don't have them, and sometimes you see them on the map and it like directs your strategy. Like, if I get that, I'll link it up to my empire, and it's going to synergize and give me these buildings, and it's going to net increase in ability. The other cool thing about Civ 4 is that what I was alluding to with the AI, them being a match with you if they have the same economic industrial strength as you, is that like the game. I've lost Civ 4 games. This is the kind of game you can actually lose if it just doesn't pan out for you. If you don't have the right resources, if you fall too far behind. You have 7 cities, the other guy has 20 cities. It's just like, it's only a matter of time before they eclipse you. There's so many cool things about Civ 4. And also, you can't have a mega empire right off the bat. Civ 4 has something called the maintenance cost. Every city costs so much cash. You can really overstretch your empire. It takes like turn 400 before you have at least 3 cities in the capacity to get that 4th city without, burning down your economy. There's a time and place in Civ where taking over another country is too expensive. And then that changes. Like, that's kind of the whole this is the closest game I've ever felt like that gets to the heart of just what would I even call it? The rise and fall of the imbalance, right? You have all these countries, they start on a map, and well, this is a simulator. This game feels like a real simulator. And when you stretch it to 4,500 turns, it goes from feeling like a turn-based game to feeling like a real-time strategy game, where you have units moving, but they won't reach their location for like 10, 15 turns. You just keep clicking that next button. Like, this is one of the best mods, the Rise and Fall mod. Rise and Fall, or was it Rise and Fall, A New Dawn, or A New Dawn, Rise and Fall? I forget what it's called. The sad thing is the people that made this mod, like, the guy who finished the mod, he retired, and then a group of people went to work on it, and I think that the mod got more buggy. Like, the mod became a little bit worse as they tried to extend it further, and I honestly feel like I got the one version that was, like, ordained by the original creator. Like, I got the final patch, like, patch C or whatever. I would never upgrade to the new version. It's probably, like, the version I have is probably not out there anymore. Which is sad. I'm sure they made it really good, but the version that I have is, like, is supreme. It's so good. You don't need to add extra stuff to Civ. At some point, you've gone so far where it's just like, what's the point? What are you even doing? You'll never get to the end of this modded out game. Like, this isn't that one, Caveman to Cosmos. This isn't the Caveman to Cosmos mod. Not that one. You know, some mods are just so ambitious that's like, I don't know, dude, does this bloat? Does the AI even know how to make use of all these features? But, like, the one that I had, like, the one I have right now, is so good. Anyways, rant, Civilization, it's the best.